I had a question.
Go ahead. Whoever wants, yeah.
Okay, I have a question, and I know this is not about this case,
Okay.
but I want your professional opinion about that school shooting and how long it took for them to go in.
As new surveillance images emerge from inside Robb Elementary School during the deadly mass shooting. Overnight, city council members denying the school's embattled police chief Pete Arredondo the chance to take a leave of absence from his duties.
I make a motion we do not grant the leave of absence for Councilman Andrea.
This as the actions of officers that day get a searing indictment inside the Texas Senate.
There's compelling evidence that the law enforcement response to the attack at Robb Elementary was an abject failure.
The director of the Texas Department of Public Safety insisting police could have stopped the deadly attack 3 minutes after it began.
The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-scene commander, who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children.
This image, obtained by ABC affiliate KView, showing officers equipped with rifles and a ballistic shield they could have used to storm the room at 11:52 a.m. More shields and rifles seen in this image, first obtained by the Texas Tribune at 12:04 p.m. And then this image, first obtained by the New York Times, showing nearly a dozen officers in the hallway at 12:46 p.m., moments before they finally took down the gunman. The massacre lasting 77 minutes.
The officers had weapons, the children had none. The officers had body armor, the children had none. The officers had training, the subject had none. 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 8 seconds. That's how long the children waited and the teachers waited in rooms 111 to be rescued.
McCraw also saying officers wasted time searching for a key for a door that wasn't locked. While dozens of officers waited, kids were calling 911 from inside for over 40 minutes.
Is there anybody inside of the building? Tyler is advising he is in the room full of victims at this moment.
New testimony revealing the chief had no radio to communicate with dispatchers, and police radios were not working inside the school. Arredondo spotted Tuesday after testifying in a closed hearing.
What do you think to say to the parents?
He recently told the Texas Tribune he felt he was in an impossible situation and wanted to save as many lives as possible. But McCraw says Arredondo made terrible decisions.
Mistakes were made. It should have never happened that way.
Families now demanding transparency. Vinny Salazar lost his 11-year-old daughter, Layla.
I want to know what took them so long to act. If they've got nothing to hide, then everything should be open to the public so that we can hear what happened.
Oh, the officers were wrong. That's not how they were trained. They were wrong. And you know, hopefully the investigation points to who gave that order. But regardless of who gave that order, the officers are trained to eliminate the threat and act the shooter.
Should they all be fired?
I would fire any officer that was in the hallway that did not engage that threat. Absolutely.
Okay, that's why I feel too.
Yeah, I would terminate them based on failure to. There should be something in the policy, the failure to do their duty or something like that. I would because at the end of the day, as officers, someone has to make a decision. You know, there's 20 officers in the damn hallway, and not one of them could come up with a plan. That means that, you know, as officers, whether you're with the group or by yourself, we are individual leaders, right? We are supposed to be trained to be individual leaders, meaning that if I'm by myself in a situation, I need to be trained well enough to lead that situation, right? Mm-hmm. They give me a gun, they give me a badge, they taught me the law to make decisions. And so with 20 officers in the hallway and not one of them guys could come up with a decision on what to do, nah, that's ridiculous. And not only that, when I understand the entire timeline as it was told to us. They engaged the suspect outside the school, right? They knew where he was the whole time. This wasn't a cat and mouse game, right? They had a shootout with him outside. They allowed him to go inside. They knew where he was. They knew where he was at the entire time. They allowed all that to happen as officers. So that's completely unacceptable. I would have every last one of their badges in the chief.
Okay. And that is a protocol in y'all whatever you want to call it as a protocol.
The training that they had was active shooter training. I did the training. I did several training on that. That training is very specific, and it was done after the Sandy Hook shooting. And so after the Sandy Hook incident, we got trained, some of us, not all departments, I'm not sure, but my department was trained significantly on Sandy Hook, to the point to where I have copies of all the schools in my area. I have the maps of all the schools in my area. I can pull up on my computer if I need to respond. They taught us if you need to drive your car through the door to get the door open, that's what you do, right? Like that was the type of training. Because of that, they start outfitting our vehicles with shotguns. So if we need to blow the lock, blow chains, we can do that. They gave us, we had rifles for reasons like that. They gave us plate carriers for reasons like that. We had helmets. I had if I wanted to start, we had a little army. What they did was they took the excuse away from officers for waiting for a SWAT team. When you have the body armor, you have the weapon, and you have the shield and the protection to get the job done. So there's no excuse anymore. And that's why what they did, those officers did, was unexcusable, because they had the training.
Okay, that's all I want to know. Thank you, I appreciate it.
I didn't think you would take that position, but okay.